on the ground. Cats staring at the window, taking over the town. Hovering like vultures with frantic wings. Can't shake the feeling that someone's watching. And I've been sleeping alone, and I've been eating alone, hiding under the stairs, even though no one's home. And if you're living in the daylight, or living underground, they're sending a message that someone's watching. I don't care if someone's watching. Hear the flock of the sirens, watch through the screen. He hatched pots at the supermarket, never caused a scene. With the cameras hanging on plastic rings, he always had the feeling that someone's watching. And now she's sleeping alone, and now she's eating alone, hiding under the stairs, even though no one's home. And if you're living in the daylight, or living underground, they're sending a message that someone's watching. I don't care if someone's watching. If you're living in the daylight, or living underground, they're sending a message that someone's watching. I don't care if someone's watching. Someone's watching. Someone's watching. Someone's watching. We left this town with the speakers loud and the radio, playing old Sublime that we stole online, every verse we know. And we hadn't had a clue if we'd make it by noon or even where we'd go. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. We don't need a map, everywhere. The tank said E and we all agreed that we're just too broke to fill it back up, so we left your truck on the road with Rome. Then we found a motel with a cigarette smell, so we knew we're close. But we don't need a map, everywhere is home. Home is where I can find some peace of mind and make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road. But don't get left behind on the road. Don't get left behind on the road. Don't get left behind on the road. We play Tupac Sharak and we turn our music up when he raps about hope. We hold our thumbs high and hope someone is kind enough to give us all a ride. And we wouldn't have a clue if we'd make it by two or even where we'd go. But we don't need a map, everywhere is home. A Ford stopped on the street, said where you trying to be. We said we don't really care, we'll know it when we're there. We took on down the road, he flipped on his radio. Santeria started slow, some peace of mind and make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road. 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 Home is where I can find some peace of mind and make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road.
Walking on the moon. Walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. You walking on the moon.
Never been. All our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been.
We're starting to think we're out of time. Walking backwards, losing focus.
Thanks, man.
Never read the warning signs, but it doesn't matter where we're headed. Made our plans, we're gonna get it. 'Cause I got your hand in mine. So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Highs and lows, all that I know is that I'm gonna follow you wherever you go. Wherever you go, my dear, need you the most. And I wanna know, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trevor. We're joined by Psyonix for RLO. Welcome to the RLO Masters, and after a brief technical issue there, with my phone crashing, we can finally get ready for our playoff tonight. So attempting to list it.
A process, yeah. They're playing well, process. Casted by Guru, so interested to see who's going to win this one.
Yeah, it's going
It's the 5 in the quarterfinal. So
to be very interesting to see. Process has been popping off. Another way of putting it, they got taken down by Chris Friday 3-0. They did defeat Mindfreak 3-0. Now, Mindfreak did have a Southern Lethal, but Southern Lethal finished quite well, so that is a pretty big result for Process. And, well, compared to Felicity, you would have to say Process should be in for a good run tonight if they keep the form up.
they should, as they did make it to the finals last week. So I'm hoping they can do that again, although they are in the lower bracket thanks to Cringe. But they did beat Cringe last week, so maybe some little errors happening there. But I think they will take this game and make it to that semis.
We are just having a few technical issues here once again, Chaos, so maybe you might want to take a few moments more about the game. Your expectations, maybe?
Yeah, look, as I said, I think Process will take this one. Laxon, in particular, is playing out of his mind. Just pulling off a lot of flashy things, doing these unique passes that you really just don't see very often, taking these big teams, really playing really well. Potato is also playing fantastic. Nothing against CJM, he's playing good too, but Lake Potato and Laxon are playing very well together. I haven't seen too much of Solicit's games, but yeah, I'm definitely going to say Process have got this one.
They should be taking this game out, but saying that, Solicit, they're not a bad team. They've done pretty well recently. They've managed for plus a couple of times, but it does seem a little bit tricky. What do you think they need to do tonight to try and shut down the Process boys?
Well, look, the defense and offense is looking really strong from Process, so they've really just got to get around Laxon, to be honest, because he's just all over the field, man. He's up there, he's ready for those passes, he's creating those passes, and when it's time to be in defense, he's getting perfect rotations, being back post when he needs to be, and he's just playing really, really well all round.
He is indeed, but as we just wait for players to get into the lobby, let's just have maybe a quick look at the rest of the bracket, because that's obviously just gone live, so people might not know what's happening. And obviously, listed there will be taking on Process. As most of our last thing, we haven't updated it as of yet. But looking at some of the other games, Bubble see the Invisible Ninjas. That's going to be a very good game. Ground Zero v Renegades, that should be a gold of a match. And just focusing on Samir, you'd have to say might be the one-sided game of the bracket, but in saying that, Samir has been performing above expectations so far this month.
Sure, Ground Zero versus Renegades straight up. That is, as you said, it's going to be a cracker of a game. Oh man, someone's going to be disappointed going into the semi-final. That usually would be a final type of match, that one there, that matchup. But a lot of strong teams here, so we can't really say that. Direwolves up against Invisible Ninjas. That's a good match too. Direwolves are playing fantastic, so I'm expecting them to get the dub on that one. As for Cringe Society and Finra, that's probably going to be another close one, but expect Cringe to take that one as well.
Yeah, Cincinnati did have a bit of a scare early on in the first round of the group. They did nearly go down to the Vertex, able to recover in the second half of game number 5 to make their way through. So a little bit of a scare early on, but they're a team that they should, at their peak, could make it well into the semis and maybe even the finals if one of their opponents is a little bit off guard. So let's talk about proper predictions now for the game at hand here. Since the three process, I think we sort of know how this game's going to go. I think we're both in the process mode here. I think it's probably going to be a 3-1 game, you would have to say, for him. I do think Blizzard should be able to take out at least one, but you just have a feeling that process would be the better team here tonight.
For sure, and a best of 5, there's quite a bit of games to play, but I'm actually going to put it down as a 3-0. I'm going to say Process are going to wipe the floor with them. As I said, man, I've just been watching them play a lot, and I've been casting with Guru their games, and last week, they made it all the way to the final pretty much with ease. So, yeah, I'm just going to put it down to 3-0, man.
Yeah, that's completely fair enough. I think if Warm does continue on this game, could possibly be a slam dunk for him. But they're only a few moments away here. Yeah. Sorry, okay, I might want to take this. That is told through some of my brother.
Right, yeah, we're just waiting on a few more players to join before we get into this first quarter-final here. Best of 5, it's a lot of games, but, a lot of time to play. It's Snowy, great player. Everyone knows Snowy. Vortex, it's a good team. I feel bad for saying that they're going to get walloped by Process 3-0, but yeah, it's just hard to look away from that team right now. They're playing fantastic.
Cities are rising, rising in front of me. I wanna hide it, want to go back to sleep. I wish I could rewind it. Can I rewind it? We woke up naked, like we're morning friends. We can go through it, can do it all again, like we rewind it. Like we rewind it. And I don't wanna know, I just wanna feel. We let it go, nothing is too wrong, we make it real. Don't wanna care, just live and die. I see you there, nothing is too wrong for you and I. Always somewhere else, oh somewhere else in mind. Always somewhere else, but still we can't rewind. Always somewhere else, oh somewhere else in mind. Always somewhere else, but still we can't rewind. We meet in the morning like it's a demon, but it's just something I don't believe in. Still we rewind it, keep on rewind it. Across the borders, beyond the city lights, a new horizon with unforgiving lies, but I don't mind it. Keep on rewind it, and I don't wanna know, I just wanna feel. We let it go, nothing is too wrong, we make it real. Don't wanna care, just live and die. I see you there, nothing is too wrong for you and I. Always somewhere else, oh somewhere else in mind. Always somewhere else, but still we can't rewind.
And after very easy about the RLO Masters on well, it's good at the very least the first forecast, but it's not that far away. Hopefully,
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RLO Masters. We're coming in hot, a little too hot than I believe a lot of people have expected. So hot, unfortunately, Chris's computer could not handle and apparently has exploded. Fret not, he is okay. It might take a couple weeks before we get him back running at full pace. So I have jumped in. Joining me is Kanos with his Rocket League Oceania casting debut. And already one game into this series, unfortunately. Solicit did get that 4-1 victory off stream, but jumping right back into it, and with the way how Team Process is playing, I still feel like we can get at least 4 games out of these two.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, man. The two strong teams. It's going to be a good game.
It absolutely will be a fiery one. Now, I had the fortune, or arguably misfortune, of following Mindfreak in their sort of qualifying match against Team Process, where Laxant was the player who did step up and sort of push this team through. On the Solicit side, Vortex, Snowy, as well as Tango. These three, traditionally, very, very solid players. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and I do worry a bit that when you're looking at this Team Process side, are they going to have the discipline to really sustain an attack pushing against the likes of Team Solicit when they are on that offensive half? As looks like we're having a bit of a reset in the game at the moment, so we should be able to kick off quite shortly. I mean, just real quick, pretend we haven't seen game one on Kanos. Who do you think actually is going to take this series?
I think Process is going to take this one, man. Laxon in particular has been playing out of his mind. I've said this all through watching Process, and yeah, he's just playing so good right now that I'm thinking not many teams can stop him, man.
Well, we'll see what happens. Again, game one was a victory over to the Sanglian side. They won that game 4-1, and so it looked quite dominant as Snowy goes for a late flick right there. Tango on the follow-through, unable to beat out CJM. Vortex continuing to apply the attacking pressure through the corner, and the one weakness of Process is when you get them on that back foot. Sometimes defensively, they make mistakes. Case in point, Laxon unable to corral that. Fortunately, had some help from Potato underneath, but that's not enough to stop Vortex. 1-0 lead for the blue side.
Wow, man, they're just coming out blazing. They're playing really nice off the start of this game, and as you said, yeah, Team Process, when they start to get a bit flustered, it's looking like the goals are going to start flowing for Solicit, so hopefully the boys of Process can bring it back here. Plenty of time left, 4:30 on the clock as we see Potato jump up. He's putting it to the side for Laxon. He wants to put that one into mid, but gets met by Tango. Here comes Vortex, but gets blocked out by Potato. Tango trying to get it cleared down. CJM tries to drop it down to Laxon, but gets blocked. Potato trying to make his way back. Pops it up to the side for himself. Trying to set his boys up here. Pops it to mid for Laxon, but Snowy takes him out. Says, no, you're not getting no pass. No play is being made here. Although CJM comes in, but doesn't get enough power on that shot. That could have been a goal there.
It very well could have, and it's one that I feel Process would desperately need. They're going to need to really put that offense to use and get as many points as possible as Vortex. You know, he's able to sneak one through. Snowy already there. Against a disciplined team like Sanguine, it's all about, you know, keeping that attacking pressure and putting up as most points as possible, because I feel like you almost expect Sanguine to get at least 3 on Process regularly. Maybe more, maybe just a little bit less, but we're going to have to see more good pass plays like this from the Process side to sort of keep up with the pace that I think Sanguine is going to stack.
Oh, for sure. I think you mean Solicit, though.
Solicit, yes, Solicit, my apologies.
Of course, yeah. Two very similar names. Yeah, good goal there from Process. I think you're right. And as we see here, it's 1-0 with 3 minutes 30 left. CJM pops it up to himself into mid.
Yeah, Tango does fall back and gets a nice touch across, although Laxon is there off that backward. Snowy and Potato fight for the ball. Snowy kind of wins out, gets it where he wants it, and that should lead to a Tango clear, but it's an awkward touch off the post. CJM unable to get there in time, and eventually the ball gets taken out of the danger zone. Both these teams can be so dynamic when pressing forward. I think, and when we're watching, you know, this blue side, keep your eyes on what Tango can do against this Process defense. I have a feeling we're going to see a few special goals in this series.
Oh, for sure. That he had such good control to be able to save that goal and land perfectly to get straight back and save it again. It looked like it was going to be a goal, but no, Tango, like you said, he's playing really well, and he got back to that and saved it with no problem. As Tango, here he goes again, straight off the wall, straight to himself, and just remains with it, trying to keep that pressure. Goes for the demo, but actually gets demoed himself, and there's Vortex trying to drop that one down, but Potato's just going to be on the backboard waiting for that. Another good player. Potato's playing very, very well. He's always in the play and always trying to make himself known.
That's
Vortex trying to get that pop.
Ooh, that flick from Vortex could have been something dangerous. I do feel Potato, for me, is going to be that big question mark, though, for Team Process. If Potato plays well, the team can be fine. If he starts to struggle or have confidence issues, that's where we see Process struggle in the past. Vortex now pressing forward. Won't be able to turn that into a double. Snowy unable to make the read off of Lax and Potato. Can't press it back to that first attacker, however, so Tango will play midfield instead. TJM, nice light touch, gets the second as well, as both teams fighting for midfield control. Snowy eventually will win out. TJM unable to catch that pass. Tango pressing it forward, so TJM playing third man now as Vortex keeps the slow attack moving for Solicit. Eventually, the defense from Process will hold on, and while I do like slow attacks typically, I don't feel that's the correct approach against Process. I want to see faster, more aggressive plays, something akin to this, as you see a triple commit into the corner. Sometimes this Process defense, they can get too over-eager, and then you punish them. Tango makes it 2-1.
You were calling it out, and it happened as you were calling it out. It's so correct on what you're saying. Tango just comes barreling in and slams that one right over the top. They were getting flustered in defense, and yeah, they just need to speed it up a little bit. Solicit and Process are going to struggle underneath that pressure. I don't think they like that pressure a lot.
No, I don't think they do, and it's a bit unfortunate because playing in the Oceanic region, I feel like that's something you're going to have to learn to deal with, especially if you want to compete, you know, with some of those other high-pressure teams, your Cringe Societies, your Renegades, your Ground Zeros. I mean, I'm essentially listing, you know, the three top teams, but you've got to be able to play defense as well as offense. And while I definitely feel like Team Process has their attacking side of the field down, defensively, they can have issues. And going up against a team right now like Solicit, which is sort of an all-around just good team, we're starting to see those mistakes on that defensive side of the pitch really come back to punch them, and thus far they haven't been able to match that with their own aggression. 33 seconds remaining in game number 2, and it's still looking like it's going to be a Solicit victory.
For sure, as here comes Vortex, beautiful touch off the backboard, but just couldn't make that play happen, and Laxon's got no boost to deal with. It's Potato trying to make something happen here. Ends up taking it down into Solicit half, but Tango's trying to keep that one, slow it down a little bit, trying to tick the time away, trying to just get that nice win without having to struggle. But here comes Potatoes popping it up to Laxon. What can Laxon do here? He's off the ceiling to Potato. Oh no! Oh, it's CJM off of the wall with 1 second to go, but it did tick down to 0 on that shot. It's going to go to overtime.
Oh my goodness, Snowy committed everything to the first touch, thinking that if they can clear it right there, even if he misses, as long as it doesn't go in the goal, we'll be fine. No one expecting the next player to cheat on through. We've got ourselves a game 2 overtime, and when you look at how the series is sort of progressing right now, it is must-win for Process. You do not want to go 2 games down yet. Tango does not force that. That first save by CJM won't be enough. Tango puts it through, and that's going to be Solicit advancing 2-0 right now in this showdown against Process.
Yeah, such a good save from CJM, but just didn't get enough of it to push it right out of that goal line, and Tango just comes straight back in and had no problem at all finishing that one off. And it's such a shame because they did such a good job trying to get back to overtime for that second game, and now Solicit just running away with it. They are 2-0 up in the series.
Yeah, and this is high pressure time right now for Team Process. They're going to have to pull off a reverse sweep in a situation where they're not being allowed to play their style game. Taking a look at that shot count at the end of it, 6 for the side of Team Process, 7 by Vortex alone. If you want to go the complete total, it was actually 14-6 in favor of the Solicit side. And if you are keeping Team Process on their own defensive half, you are beating Team Process. Like, that is it's a pretty standard script on how to take this team down, unfortunately for them. And Solicit right now, they are playing to it. They are dominating tempo. They are dominating control of the ball. They're winning pretty much all of those midfield challenges, and if they can do it just one more time, Solicit is going to be advancing to their second semifinal at minimum of the month.
Absolutely. And here comes Laxon straight off the gate, popping it to Potato. Tango's trying to shut that one down early as CJM is last back, but it's getting challenged by Snowy. little bit of a whiff there from CJM, trying to pop it into the middle for Potato. It's Tango. Here comes Tango. He's always, as you said, I think you said in that first game that we casted, you got to watch out for Tango, and I think you're absolutely correct, as he's really, really playing well, setting up all these plays.
I've been super impressed with Tango, and I've been super impressed with Vortex as well, from what we've seen. Speaking of Vortex, he'll take advantage of that open net, and that's going to be a 1-0 lead for this illicit side.
Everything you say, Max, is coming true right here. You said watch out for Vortex, bang, he scores a goal. It's crazy, man.
It's the ability to see into the future. It's one that you will learn one day, I'm sure. It's Tango is going to clear it across the middle of the field. Actually gets the follow-up setup off the backboard. All the setup Vortex, and this looks like Team Process is starting to come apart at the seams.
Yeah, they're struggling, man. As you said earlier, Solicit putting on a lot of pressure, and it does seem that Team Process is struggling with all that pressure. They're not slowing down. They're not going for those slow plays. They're just coming in with full speed and getting those full attacks going, and they're not handling it very well at all.
No, they're not. I mean, Potato in particular, you saw, had the best chance for that save, and kind of wound up nowhere near. Vortex gets a a hat trick in the first minute of play, this time with an emphatic spike right underneath the defense.
Oh man, the control from Vortex to follow that ball up, being so far away from the wall. It's such a good play. You know, as you said, 3 goals in the first minute. This man is to be feared.
He absolutely is, and I think at that same token, perhaps Solicit is going to be a team to watch out for moving forward as well, assuming they can hold on to a 3-0 lead with all the momentum on their side. Feeling pretty confident right now. If I were a Solicit fan, and Snowy will clear that ball across the box. Vortex already there. Dates 2 defenders instead of 3 this time, but with CJM so far forward, he's not going to get any power behind that defensive touch. Laxon unable to play the backboard quite correctly, as the pass back to Vortex won't lead to an absolute strike, and this is the first time this game we've seen Team Process's defense not immediately crumble. There were a couple double commits, but no triples, and as a result, they do clear it back to the other side.
Yeah, for sure. They must have had a few words to each other about their rotations in defense, and they've managed to clean it up just a little bit. But we need to see some offense now. We need to see them coming forward, getting those passing plays, and it's looking like Solicit is the team that you're going to need to do passing plays on, because there's not going to be many solo plays as Laxon manages to get a nice touch off of Potato's pass there. It wasn't too fast, but it just had enough speed to make it there. Vortex almost got the save there, but just had enough speed to make its way in.
So Kanos, see how easy it is? You talk about the passing plays and what they need to do, and look, they do it for you. It's that easy. It's don't do it when you take one.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Here comes Vortex popping it down the side, trying to set something up for his team, but they managed to go back and trying to get some boost. These Potatoes sort of trying to get a save here, but a lot of pressure coming out of Solicit like they always do. Potato's got the flip reset, decides not to use it as he pops that one really, really high. Tango's just trying to pop that to the side so he can try and get it clear. Laxon's not going to make that happen.
No, he's not. Ball pressed up to the corner. Potato there waiting. Snowy will play off the wall, looking to connect to Vortex, but instead CJM will pass it back. Awkward touch from Laxon, however, means Potato has to try and press forward with no boost. Immediately loses the ball, putting it too high. Vortex beats out CJM. Does get the double! Are you kidding me, Vortex? Someone stop this man!
Vortex again and again. He gets the beat on CJM and just manages to read that perfectly. It's coming off that waterfall little awkward corner touch, and he read it, no problem at all. Yeah, he's crazy. He's playing so well.
Vortex, every time I see him play, he does something new that impresses me and makes me look at this player in another light. I haven't really seen him completely take over a game quite like this in recent memory, but right now, Vortex absolutely kind of showing why he is to be feared just as much as any other player in this region. 2 minutes remaining in game number 3. It's looking like this could be our final game. CJM tries to get another one past Millie, but it's unable to. And looking forward right now, if we get to see this version of Solicit moving forward, they might make their second finals appearance.
Oh, absolutely. They've got the speed to take on those high-tier teams like Cringe, like Ground Zero, all those teams. They're playing very, very fast, and that's what you see when you're watching those top-tier teams. So, absolutely, they can make the finals playing like this. They have to carry it on, though.
They will have to carry it on, and it only gets tougher from this point moving forward for this team. I mean, they're a constant top 8 team, so it is always exciting to see them sort of break through and get that top 4 result. Granted, they're not really doing it against a conventional secondary top 8 team. Team Process is one of those teams that are on the bubble, trying to push through. So I'm not going to go too crazy despite another goal by Vortex right here. I still want to see him beat a team like the Direwolves, who they're going to be most likely against in the semifinal. If they can take down the Direwolves, then we start looking at this team like a legit contender to maybe go all the way. But it looks like they're just getting the job done in this one. A 5-1 lead now as we approach our final minute.
For sure, man. It's looking like Process have struggled with this series. The speed, I said they were going to win 3-0, but I didn't quite know what they were up against, obviously, as Solicit are just running away with this one, looking to get to Brazil even. They're just playing fantastic, man.
Also, just for context for everyone out there, that shot rate was 118 kilometers per hour. I don't know what it is you saw, probably some disgusting foreign units of measurement, probably something imperial and foreign and dated, but it was 118 kilometers per hour as CJM swings and misses, doesn't find that next shot, so Tango will play through that corner. As it does bounce up, swing and a miss from CJM. 40 seconds to go, 5-goal lead, and can't help but look to the future right now. I'm really excited to see how the Direwolves, again, the more likely team to be seeing as Potato does put one through, but I'm very curious on this next upcoming matchup.
For sure. I think the team of Process here are very upset with them with how they're playing because they did make it to the finals last week, and I think they were thinking they were going to get through this one with ease, but yeah, Solicit did deserve this game, and yeah, I think they will go up against Direwolves, like you said, as Direwolves are playing also out of their mind, so Solicit versus Direwolves would be one heck of a game.
Yeah, we'll go over all the results in essentially 20 seconds as soon as this one does draw to its close. Tango, unfortunately, can't get the Brazil, but still going to try to put some semblance of attacking pressure on. Will be collected by Lax in 10 seconds remaining until we get to call this one a wrap. A nice, quick, and easy 3-0. Apologies for missing the first game in that one. CJM will put another goal on point, so get to delay a little bit longer nonetheless. If your Team Process, though, you're still going to be happy with this top 8 result. You're still in prime contention to qualify for that big final 8, and that's the chance to qualify for the big prize money. It's not how you want to end the night, but definitely you end the night happy.
Oh, for sure. They didn't go out first round, so yeah, you've got to be happy with the progress you've made. You got to trust the process.
Oh, that's horrible. But what is not horrible is Solicit getting their victory. 3-0 will be advancing. When I last checked, it did look like the Direwolves were up 2-0 against the defending regional champ, Attack of the Invisible Ninja, and they did win that one 3-0 as well. So it will be Solicit taking on the Direwolves. As the other semifinal match right now, we're looking at Ground Zero versus Cringe Society, and a very interesting top 4. I'm pretty sure I predicted 3 of these, but it's always a surprise to see Solicit when they do make it to these semifinals. Granted, against Team Process, probably was the best chance they're going to have. We've seen a bizarre finalist our past 2 weeks. Is it Solicit's turn to sort of return to that RLO final position?
For sure, and look what we have here, the playoff brackets. We have Direwolves versus Solicit, like you said. Direwolves beating Invisible Ninjas 3-0. That was a clean sweep as well, and we saw Ground Zero beating Renegades. As I'm going to say it, man, Ground Zero are playing the best in the region for me right now. They're playing fantastic, and they took down, another potential best in the region, Renegades, with 3-1 there. So not even really that close. They've taken them out with ease, and we see Ground Zero coming up against Cringe Society in the other bracket semifinal.
Yeah, and I do feel I'm not going to be seeing, a world where most likely Ground Zero is going to be continuing that run. I'm just making my prediction right now. I still feel like we're going to be getting a Direwolves versus Ground Zero final, which would be, in my eyes, the top 2 teams in the region at the moment. Granted, we are going to be throwing to a break. I like the Pokemon in the backdrop. I like that a lot. I don't see any reason why, but I can respect that. Either way, we will be throwing to a break right now. When we return, it's going to be a semi-final matchup, one that you do not want to miss. So stick with us. We'll be back with more Rocket League.
we got lost. I'm starting to think we're out of touch. When did it disappear? Settled in with the dust. Forget what it was that made us us. Walking backwards, losing focus. Slip so slow we didn't notice. Never read the warning signs. But it doesn't matter where we're headed. Made our plans, we're gonna get it. 'Cause I got your hand in mine. So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Highs and lows, up and low. Is that I'm gonna follow you wherever you go? Wherever you go, my dear, need you the most. And I wanna know, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
So just because 2021 and Rocket League in Oceania has kind of delivered a series of results that people haven't been expecting doesn't mean there isn't some carryover from 2020. Two teams, constant semifinal battlers, Ground Zero, Cringe Society. It seems like they go at it each and every week. Well, we're going to be adding another chapter to this rivalry right now, as that is going to be our next semifinal match. My name is Formal. Joining me is Kanos, and I mean, it's good that we get some sense of familiarity. Some things do stay the same, and let me just say, there is no love lost between these two sides.
Oh, absolutely not. I love to see this matchup, Ground Zero, Cringe Society. You know, they're swapping and changing, players every now and then, but it's always the same rosters, the same people going against each other in different teams, and I think that these two teams here have found a pretty good lineup.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so far, I would argue things are going a little bit better for that Ground Zero side. They look like the most dominant team in the region at the moment. And if you're a Cringe Society, that should make you a little bit nervous, especially considering that Ground Zero, they always come into this matchup, it feels like, with a little bit something to prove. I had a chance to talk with Ground Zero actually last Friday before RLCS over the weekend. And although they didn't outright say it, or I should say he didn't outright say it, I think you might know who I'm talking about, definitely a little extra kick in his step in wanting to prove something against this Cringe Society side. So I'm going to be very interested to see how one player in particular, you can guess who it is, I want to hear what you guys think, and how he is going to perform in this matchup.
For sure, interested to see that for sure. Ground Zero are just gonna. I'm gonna call it out early. I'm gonna say Ground Zero is gonna take this win, man. They're just, I think they're the best in the region, and I don't think Cringe is gonna be able to stop them in this one here today.
No, I don't think so as well. And everyone in the chat started messaging Amphis. That was not who I meant. I was talking about Torsos. Torsos wants to be Cringe Society. He's the one with something to prove. I expect big things from Torsos right here. Come on, chat. Get it together. Either way, though, we are looking to be jumping on the pitch in just a few moments. I'm kind of with you on that prediction. I think Ground Zero is probably going to take this one. I'm looking more at a 3-1 scoreline, but again, 2021 has been the year of upsets thus far. Anything can happen. Cringe Society, I feel a win right here could be the catalyst that puts them back on that right track as we approach our next major regional in just a couple weeks' time. We're kicking off right now. Ground Zero in blue, Cringe Society in orange on the field underway, and Express is already putting shots on target.
Here comes Drippe straight up the side with a lot of speed on him. I think these two teams here are going to be playing with quite a lot of speed throughout the whole thing. Like we said in the last game, Solicit also providing that speed against Process and just being able to shut them down. But here comes Torsos, popping it straight down the line, and Decker's going to get that and put it to the backboard, but unfortunately didn't have enough boost to be able to read that.
Yeah, but that was also a very awkward miss from Express, uncharacteristic of the typical third man and arguably the savior of the season of 2020. He is going to get some attacking pressure moving forward. Amp is already there, puts one in front of the net, but Drippe will be able to make that save. A couple strong attempts from both teams, no one able to finish just yet. Deca with the second chance, crossbars it. Two defenders do by Drippe, just needs to put it on target. Deca with the dump, and that's going to be a 1-0 lead in favor of the Society.
Very nice shot from Deca there, and yeah, just Deca just realizing that there's only one person that can save that ball and trying to gun him down inside the net and managed to do so. So that was always going to be a goal if he could get that bump. Well done to him.
Absolutely a great start from Cringe Society, and you can see that aggression they're playing with. Drippe already finding demos on Express as Amphis loses out possession to Jules. Drippe there can't connect on the pre-jump pass. As we see Express try to pressure forward, Deca cutting it off, and Deca, another player who always comes into this matchup with something to prove. We've already seen him pull one goal off already. It's so crazy how many of these players have played with and against each other right now. Always something feels that little bit elevated, and with the style of play that we're seeing for both teams, it's already a minute and a half in, and it's just been pure fireworks.
Pure fireworks indeed. Round zero, I feel, just have that little bit more pressure happening right now. Getting those passes, getting those plays, pushing it down into Cringe's half, and just putting them on that back foot right away with that first goal coming in from Drippe. As here comes Jules popping it off the ceiling and straight down, but Torsos is going to be able to hold that one and control that one. I always notice with Torsos, he always has such good card control and following the ball. And you may be able to get to the ball, but when you get past him, he's always there for that 50-50 play.
Another awkward touch from Express, who seems to be struggling to adapt to the base set right now. I don't like calling individual players out, and I'm sure Express does have it within himself to bounce back, but a couple little awkward reads has not helped Ground Zero and their ability to find those counterattacking opportunities. Jules, late flick, doesn't turn it quite into a shot. Torsos able to find that save. It's interesting. I'm a little bit concerned with Express and his involvement, but on the opposite side, Drippe has been playing a little bit further up the pitch than what I've seen him do in recent memory, and is getting himself more involved as well. So it really looks like Cringe Society, they're definitely a bit more warmed up, a bit more active, and if Drippe can keep up this high level of play, I see good things in the Orange Side's future.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Here comes Torsos. He just holds it himself with that possession, trying to make something happen. Oh, a bit of a misplay there as it pops back into Round Zero's half. Drippe tries to get a shot there, but it was a very hard angle as Torsos is trying to put that one into middle for Amphis, but gets shut down by Drippe. Here comes Express, and it pops down right in front of the goal, but nobody has enough boost to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Amphis stuck in no man's land without boost. They had to wait for Torsos to try and come off the ceiling. It was just a little bit short making it in time. Drippe now. Okay, has to catch his own sort of pass right now. Doesn't get the spike he's looking for. Jules still tries to turn into a shot, but off of this defense is a bit of a clear. Deca doing an excellent job as that third man savior role, but can he stop this shot from Express? Amphis tries to go for the bump, yet it's Drippe this time who comes through clean with the save.
Here's Torsos trying to get a save, trying to pop it out. Amphis gets a little bit of a whiff there. They're just trying to clear it out of their half right now. Ground Zero as Jules just bumps him straight out of the way, and a fake could put Express all the way through, but Deca comes through and saves that as he comes off the wall. That was a fake. Drippe's got possession, taking it slow, slowing it down, but Amphis is just going to rotate back and get the demo on him. Deca slowing it right down now. Slow plays coming in right now.
Yeah, it is starting to slow down a little bit. A bit of space being given, but I mean, we say that Ground Zero was just so far forward, it kind of made it hard to sustain that midfield play for that long. Now they're trying to turn that aggressive positioning into a bit of attack, but it's already shut down from Deca. Can't connect with Jules, no one around it, so again, possession quickly turned back the other way. Ampit still has his flick, goes for the dribble, but is unable to turn that into a shot. 30 seconds remaining, still a 1-goal lead in favor of the Cringe Society side. Make that 2, not quite yet. It's the second shot that will go through. Deca may have put game 1 away.
Oh, wow, and Jules just managed to get that shot. Amphis didn't jump up for that second shot off of the wall, and Jules just punished him for that, passing it straight into middle, knowing that one of his teammates would be there, and that's 2 up with 20 seconds left. It's fair to say I think this game might be over.
Yeah, and it's being won in a way, in a style that I haven't really seen from Cringe Society in a little bit. As we see a nice quick counter attack, the pass across the middle to Torsos has made these final 11 seconds much more interesting.
As I say that, Casters like they have plenty of time, for teams like these guys. They can dribble it from across the match no easy. They can just take it from anywhere and score from anywhere. So as long as there's time on that clock and the ball is in the air, someone's going to make something happen.
Absolutely, as we see Express can get it to the corner. Drippe from underneath, watch it, seals overhead, Express with a chance, but Jules gets there that monochrome bit faster. Torsos back across the middle, Amphis swings and misses, the net was open, but Torsos keeps the play alive with help from Express. Ball waterfalls down underneath it, Torsos can't get it to the wall, and Cringe Society take game number 1.
They tried really hard to keep that ball up. They had a few chances there, but yeah, Cringe Society were trying their best to get that out and get that on the ground and get that first win.
It would have been a very key win for them had they been able to completely bring it back. Instead, it goes Cringe Society's way, and as I was hinting at before, it feels like we're seeing that aggressive Cringe Society that we saw almost back at the start of 2020. Granted, the lineup is now completely different from what we saw then. Yet, that style, that fast pace, that wanting to keep their opponents on the back foot, that has constantly remained. And it really felt, particularly in the first half of that game, Ground Zero was still warming up. They did get it together towards the tail end, and we got to see them actually step a little bit further up the field before they were able to make those challenges. It became a lot more midfield focused than opposed to in front of their own goal. However, those opening 2 minutes was all what Cringe Society needed to take that initial lead, and they held on. Now, as we move into game 2, we get to see how these teams react. Opening kickoff leads to what looks to be more Cringe Society favor.
More Cringe Society favorite indeed, as they're just all over the place here. They're taking possession, they're just playing so well as a team, and I think you're right with what you were saying. Ground Zero just looked like they're warming up in that first game as Deca just comes flying through, and it looked like someone from Ground Zero went for a squishy save.
Yeah.
Just couldn't manage to get there.
That was Amphis having to go for the squishy to avoid being demoed by Jules. Ideally, he would have liked to e-brake, make that cut turn, make that save, but with Jules breathing down his neck, the moment he would slow down right there, demo, open net. His best chance was to go for the squishy, and this time it does not pay off. Cringe Society and their aggressive, their fast-paced attack, creating those opportunities, and those are the types of plays that you've got to be mindful of when playing against this team. I love seeing this style from them, yet Ground Zero can do it as well. That's going to be a goal with a little help from Amphith on getting in the way of Drippe. Either way, Express gets credit for the point.
Wow, that was so crazy that they committed. All 3 players committed to that one play. They were so confident. Amphis passed it to the middle, Torsos off the backboard, and then Express just slammed that in. If they had gotten past Ground Zero there, Cringe Society would have just been able to walk away with a goal there because they all committed to that. So they must have known what they were doing.
Absolutely, and that's the kind of commitment you see sometimes from these best teams as Torsos goes for the reset, gets it, but can't get it past the second defender. Drippe puts it in a dangerous spot. Express holding it in place for Amphis. Double commit by the defense. Amphis does not make the play off the wall, so Torsos will have to shut down midfield. Jules waits, plays the patient game. Express kind of stuck in an awkward spot, but does enough to get it to the opposite corner where Deca's waiting. Shot saved, follow through by Drippe, blocked, and now comes that counterattack. Amphis leading the charge. Express doesn't get the bump, but doesn't need it. The net is open, and Torsos is there. Ground Zero takes the 2-1 lead.
Oh man, it looks like they're warming up now. Amphis, a nice air dribble there, and just nobody home for Cringe Society. I think they're committing a lot there. They are putting that aggression on and trying to get something going, but yeah, Ground Zero just managing to get past, 1 or 2 players, and there's only 1 left, and it's pretty easy pickings from there to get the goal.
The Torsos, couple light touches. Deca still running interference from underneath. Will be able to lob it up. Amphis versus Drippe gets one out by Amphis. Express with the follow through. That's a deep clear, and he's looking for the double. Doesn't get it as Jules makes the read, but Torsos in that second man position just make sure they get that point on the board. 3-1 lead for Ground Zero.
Wow, Express almost putting that one home, and it just popped out straight into mid, and it was easy pickings from there. Ground Zero looking like they're running away with this game. They may have warmed up, Max. They may have warmed up.
I just want to go back to how crazy of a read Torsos had to make to turn that into a goal. it looked like Deca was trying to clear it into the corner, yeah? But instead it hits the post, and post angles are always so difficult, yet Torsos knew exactly where he was going despite the speed at which Deca actually made that save. That was a fantastical goal from Torsos that I don't think we really saw clearly that first strike, but on replay, phenomenal stuff. And Ground Zero, yeah, they are definitely warmed up in this second game.
For sure, as here comes Deca though, as we say that, almost gets the read off of the backboard to himself, but just misses the ball there. Amphis trying to clear it down. Express chasing down a member of the Crimson Society, as Torsos trying to keep it into play. Drippe is last back and really needs to get a good clear there. Jules gets a demo, but Express manages to make it back.
Now we see Torsos, possession of the ball, looking to clear it straight down the middle, gets challenged by Drippe, but loses out. Amphis now with a chance, puts it on target, but cannot put it in the back of the net. Jules trying to do what he can, flicks it back for Deca. Torsos there in a space, but won't be able to go too much further than that. Express takes it up high, but Jules follows that a little bit higher. Amphis and Jules fight for possession. Drippe is actually the one with the chance, but Torsos has the save.
Here comes Deca, trying to put it in the middle. As it's boomed down into Crimson Society's half. Drippe's going to take a little bit of time here just to see what he can do with it, but Express is going to jump up and shut that one down. Jules just looking like he's trying to clear it, but Ground Zero just not letting it happen. Pre-flip from Amphis leads it into Express's hands, and he's up. He's got plenty of boost, but Deca is up early, but no, it's Torsos. He comes out of nowhere for that read. Even after it looked like two players were going to hit the ball, Torsos still managed to keep it in his head to still go for that play if it all fell through, and manages to get another goal for Ground Zero.
4-1 lead for the Ground Zero side right now, and they're looking quite in control of this one. Drippe, light touch to the opposite corner where Jules is waiting. Torsos will now press forward. Deca with the challenge, puts it up high. Express has a chance to spike it through and in. It's off the crossbar, but not quite in the net. This is definitely looking like we're going to be getting a proper series on our hand, though, as yeah, blow for blow, or is it Jules? Unable to get past Amphis. Minute 10 remaining. Interesting series thus far, and it's very telling when you see how much more Crimson Society seem to struggle when they don't have that dominant offensive presence.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It looks like they need a lot of time to set up their plays, and as I say that, they did set up a passing play, but it bounced off the backboard and managed to just sneak into the hands of another Crimson Society member.
I mean, again, it's sort of that triple commit, all or nothing offense, but Deca recognizing that three members of the Ground Zero side were all in that right corner. There really wasn't that much risk involved in pressing forward as the third man. He'll put it through, and now within two, this lead becomes a little bit more dangerous. Late flip reset from Amphis will be read by Jules. Gets a bit of a clear, but with Torsos playing so far back, it's going to be hard to make anything from this attack.
A lot of trust in these teams too. Crimson Society, you know, as we were saying, they triple commit a lot. If they really know that they're going to get past the player, they must have really good comms and just really good plays to be able to calm that in such fast circumstances.
Deca back corner will make that read. 15 seconds remaining. I believe it's time to start looking towards game 3 right now and start trying to speculate. How do we feel Crimson Society are going to come back in this series? Because it was a very different look from them in game number 2 than it was in game number 1.
Oh, for sure. I think that you hit it on the head. They were warming up, and it looks like they're well warmed up now. Ground Zero. It is a best of 5, and it is 1-1 now from Crimson Society and Ground Zero, but it does definitely look like we have a game on our hands back and forth from these two top-tier teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look at the shot differential at the end of that second game, 14 from Ground Zero compared to the 8 from Crimson Society. It's like we sort of flipped the script in between games 1 and 2. And if this is going to be one of those blow-for-blow type series, would not be too surprised. It's interesting, though, to me that each game has been so heavily one-sided. We haven't really seen both teams sort of match the pace set by the other just yet. And when that sort of happens, it becomes really easy to speculate, oh, okay, well, Ground Zero just dominated Crimson Society. They sort of figured out by playing a little bit further back, they were able to set up their own faster counterattacks, and then their offensive rotations were that little bit more on point. But it feels like whoever gets the first goal is just taking all that momentum with them. This opening kickoff into Game 3 seems critical for me, and Express will be the one who makes defenders miss. That net looks open, but Jules is able to fall back and save.
Sure, and Express staying up in that play with no boost, so he's got a lot of confidence in his boys back, but Anthus was waiting back as he gets that clear down, but Express is last back now and sees Anthus, passes it to him, it's coming straight down, and his Express just didn't have enough boost to reach that one, and now it's open for the team of Cringe. They're going to go all the way down and just manage to put that one away.
You were the one who brought it up first, Kanos. You were talking about how these teams were pressing everyone forward, triple committing for these attacks, and this is the first time we finally see one of the teams get punished for it. All 3 members of Ground Zero are pretty much on the backboard of Cringe Society. Great redirect from Deca to secure that goal, but he had all the time in the world. Even if he had missed that, he was still probably getting to the ball first before anyone from Ground Zero could recover.
He was, yeah, he was. And with saying that triple commit, if Express just had that little more boost, which he probably should have, you know, he would have got that goal in that triple commit situation. But, you know, if you do stuff one thing up, one element, like having 10 less boost than you thought, it's going to be a goal for the other team. And that's exactly what happened.
We do hit our first minute into this game. Obviously, winning this moves you to match point and the best chance you could possibly ask for in getting to our grand final. Torsos trying to find the equalizer, instead just finds Deca. Jules follows it through. Ball in the middle of the field right now. Amphis is going to put that one up, goes for the dribble, but it's shut down for Deca. As we see Drippe swing and miss Express from underneath, turns it into a tie game.
Such a good play here from Express, trying to go underneath. He knew he could have volleyed that, but instead he just let it touch the tip of his car, and as you said, put it underneath, when a lot of players would be expecting the half volley here to take it off the ground.
3:45 remaining. Tie game right now, and we're finally seeing what looks to be a bit more of an even matchup between these two sides. As Deca tries to corner it back to Torsos, it's accurate, but I believe that was actually a squishy save from Drippe right there. I didn't see the setup from it, but where he was positioned, that could have been a great save, as nearly splitting the uprights of the midfield players as well. It looks like Cringe Society is getting more willing to take some risks. Amphis with the reset, stopped by Jules, but gets the second touch. It's just not accurate enough for the goal.
Yeah, and here comes Express. It is 1-0 with 3 minutes left, so they are looking to get that second goal to just get that small lead, and Amphis is going to block that one. Express really has to get that block, but Torsos manages to get back in time. He is last, and here comes Jules, but gets shut down by Torsos. And Torsos is last back here, just puts it to the side. He doesn't have much boost to work with, so he's trying to just hold position, trying to let his team get back, and here comes Deca. He's trying to pass it into the middle, but Drippe doesn't get the perfect touch for his team there, as it's popped into the sky, and Express just tries to clear that out. Deca.
Yeah, looking to read off the wall, looking to create something. It's actually a nice setup to Jules, who gets the upper corner. The patient play on this attack actually pays off. Torsos unable to follow it through. It was a nice 50, won by the Cringe Society member, and they're already there looking to strike 2-1 lead in favor of the Society.
Absolutely, and those ceiling shots are so dangerous. They can just come from anywhere and any angle, and you still have a flip and you're upside down, and that's exactly what Deca has done to set up that goal. Express sending it down the field, but Jules is waiting down to Drippe, but Express is going to make it up for that save with ease.
2:14 remains in this one. Deca off the roof. Amphis should be able to read it underneath. Popped it up a bit. Drippe there to follow through. Gets a second touch off the wall, but won't be able to get too much after that as Deca tries to challenge Jules, moves out. Amphis goes up, pressing it towards the net. Deca with the read. Express keeping the attacking pressure forward. This is a pretty critical attack for Ground Zero right now. They don't want to let this one get too late, but already the attacking pressure is lost. Minute 48 to go, and it's looking good once more for the blue side as Torsos has a chance, gets it past 2 defenders.
Ground Zero putting a lot of pressure as they need to do, as they are one down here. Express last back manages to get that save, needs to do it again, and does so. Amphis holding on to that 50 as Cringe Society are just coming in so strong. Drippe flies across the goal and gets that save. But here comes Amphis. Oh my gosh, that was such a good goal. As Torsos tries to go for that shot, but Drippe, yeah, he just put it off the sidewall and couldn't follow it up, and Amphis just swings that in 64 Ks.
Jules, so desperate trying to pinch that one off the top crossbar right there, but couldn't get the height needed. The positioning from that shot had to be perfect, and Amphis was nothing less than perfect. Kickoff, though. Jules strikes right on back. In Cringe Society, they're not letting Ground Zero get away with anything.
Oh, you hate to see it off the kickoff. All that effort from Ground Zero just to get taken away from them in 5 seconds off of the kickoff. Now they have to start again with 1 minute 16 left to go, but here comes Express. He gets these reads, no problem, but just doesn't manage to find that angle as Amphis has still got possession here in the sky, and Corsos just couldn't connect there. And Jules coming down with no boost, so he's got to get something working. Amphis, a lot of control. A bit of a fake there from Torsos. We're going to call it a fake from Torsos as Deka manages to get a touch there. Trying to clear it out. I think they're just trying to take the time down as they do have
Oh my gosh,
1 point
Jules.
lead here.
Oh my gosh, Jules! Oh, that almost was the best goal of the night. The air dribble into the reset, unfortunately unable to finish it, but the damage was done. We once again see Cringe Society on that attacking half where they are so dangerous, and it's so hard to sort of break these attacking rotations. Amphis going to go for the solo play. Drippe already there. Tight rotation from Kortsov. Does get a nice little tap, but Deka instead tries to push it forward, bumped off the play, and this could be the chance that Ground Zero needs. Jules up high, no one in the middle of the field, and another attack is stopped short as we hit our 10 final seconds.
Yeah, they're putting it all on the line, Ground Zero. They're triple committing to get that goal like we know that they do. Amphis is going to put it up. It's got 1 second. It's got 1 second in the air. But it's going to be put down from Drippe, and Cringe Society take the lead in the series. 2-1.
I feel like throughout 2021 thus far, Cringe Society, they haven't had their, defining tournament performance just yet. They keep getting knocked out a lot earlier than the squad would like. To advance to even if it's just a weekly, to advance to a Masters final, and to do so over Ground Zero, which is sort of like, again, there's history between these two lineups. I think it would be monumental for them. This is a big game for both of these two teams, and not to mention, if it's a dominant victory as well, 3-1, that's a statement. A lot on the line right now for Cringe Society. If they pull this one off, they are going to be going to this grand final more confident than they have been this year. And Jules nearly makes the kickoff goal happen again.
For sure, I think they do need to do that. Like you said, they have been losing a little bit earlier in the tournament to those top teams. I mean, they are a top team, but they have been losing a little bit earlier, like you said. And, they are 1 game away from winning this whole series, so they do need to put that one away as Deka puts it mid for Jules, but Amphis is going to be there to save that one.
That's a big save from Amphis. The question is, what can he do with it pushing forward from underneath? Drippe actually clears it up to the corner. Torsos tries to put it back down. We'll get that second touch. Tries to spike it in, but Deka can make that backward read as Jules keeps the ball up in the air. Again, slowly pushing it forward. Deka going for the reset, but turns it into a pass instead. Bounced in front of that box right now. Amphis pressing it forward, goes for the dribble. Jules jumps up to challenge, but Amphis gets over the top of one, can't get it past Drippe, and we're seeing more solo plays come out from both of these teams, actually. The car control and the ball control on those individual levels have been absolutely massive. Swing and a miss from Express leads to a bump onto Amphis, yet somehow it causes attackers to miss. Very awkward setup and a very awkward defensive effort. Should lead to a Deka shot, but Amphis, as they clears up the middle, Express can't corral it. They have time, right? Nope, not quite. Drippe saves it.
Oh man, they're slowing the plays down. It's way too much here. It's like they're using all their boost to get past all these plays, and then once they do, they're like, oh no, we have no boost to work with. The goal is open, but we just don't have enough speed to get it down there.
No, not quite that time. Although there will still be plenty of moments like this. Express unable to put it through just yet. Deka actually has an open pathway straight down the middle. He saw it and tried to capitalize. Jules now will play through that corner as well. Tries to go in himself and turns it into a goal. 1-0 lead for Cringe Society.
Fantastic speed from Jules here, beating out Torsos just marginally and manages to put that one slightly over the top of him to get that goal. And Torsos is a player that is really well known for playing one, so he's really good at reading the situation and figuring out if he can beat you to that ball or not. As he gets that shot off of the ceiling and almost puts that one in. Jules, Deka, and Drippe is going to go up and try and set something up for his team.
As we do see, that's a very awkward angle off of that clear. Deka is able to make the read, and Jules is there, can't turn it into a redirect. An opportunity nonetheless, perhaps, for Cringe Society. Pinch shut down by Drippe, who puts it up. Express already waiting for it. Now gets that booming clear. Amphis tries to follow it through. Jules does enough to disrupt the attack. Express from underneath again. Overshoots the ball by that fraction. And again, and time and again, we were seeing these little overshoots from Express that are costing Ground Zero some momentum. Still plenty of time, still have a game to go, but Ground Zero needs to be able to finish one of these plays, maybe two, but Jules can't put it on target.
Yeah, Ground Zero really need to start getting something going here, as Cringe do have the lead here, and there's only 2 minutes left, but here comes Deca. He's trying to get something to work here, but Torsauce just gets shut down. Jules has got a lot of control right now, as Deca tries to get it over the top of Express. Jules, again, almost puts that one away as Torsauce comes flying in. Deca manages to get back in time, but Amphis is trying to go for a sneaky little play there, as Torsauce pops it off the ceiling.
That's a big clear from
Amphis
Deca.
back.
Big cross pitch clear from Deca as well. Minute and a half to go. If this 1-0 lead does hold on, we will be seeing Cringe Society in the final of this RLO Masters event, taking on the winner of Solicit and the Dire Wolves. Pass across the corner. Amphis, though, still has a chance. Express actually is open for a pass. Jules recognizes it, tries to intercept, but doesn't get there quite in time. Fortunately for the Cringe Society defense, the attack wasn't quite accurate enough. Big demo from Express. Ball lobbed across the box, but no one back in midfield to read it right away. Amphis does what he can to try and stop that counterattack, but it's a big miss again from Express, and Drippe is already pressed into the corner. A minute to go. Time running out for Ground Zero.
Yeah, a minute left to get something going for Ground Zero, as they are going to be eliminated here in the semi-final. They're not going to be very happy with that. Torsauce gets a nice 50, still in the box, and it is Amphis who gets a nice pop-up off the top of his car, and that manages to make its way all the way into the goal. 46 seconds left, tied up.
Off of the demo in the goal as well, Amphis saw an open net and put it straight through the middle. Ground Zero probably breathing a sigh of relief after that one. It's been a while since they've been able to put a point on the board, and it comes through when they need it most. Overtime possibly on the horizon. You feel like the next goal wins this game, and that could be it. Had that been a little bit more accurate and a little faster, Torsauce, though, will seal the deal. And in 16 seconds, roughly, it's Ground Zero now with the lead.
Ground Zero must be so happy to get that win. They were probably so worried with 1 minute left. They managed to get 2 goals in 30 seconds. So they're looking to win this game. 35 seconds left. Now Cringe Society are on the back foot here as Torsauce goes up, fakes it for Amphis to come in, and almost puts that one away for another goal there. As Deca makes his way down, trying to set up his team. Torsauce comes in and gets a nice clear there. Jules is last back with no boost. Express up early, met by Deca. Deca beats him. Torsauce just going to clear that one away.
Yeah, as 10 seconds remaining, last chance for Cringe Society to take this one to their own overtime. Drippe has possession, actually looks to redirect Express, but cannot fake out Amphis, who actually nearly clears it back the entire other way. Jules won't be able to keep it into the air, and we are going to that game number 5.
Everyone loves to see a game number 5, especially against 2 top-tier teams like Cringe Society and Ground Zero. So I have a feeling this game, everything is going to get put out there, everything on the line. You know, trying to make it to that final. This is the game that we have been hoping and praying for. You can't wish for more than this.
No, that's going to be a real showdown, that is for sure. And look, Chaos, I have to think, you've played in the ODL, you've seen what it's like at the level just below this. You reckon you could get in there and take this on? Are you that extra ingredient that one of these 2 teams need to sort of push themselves over the edge?
I would love to say yes. I would love to say. My ego says, yeah, I could take these guys on, no problem. But no, man, these guys are really, they are the best. And Amphis puts this one away. No way does that just happen. Straight off the bat, 10 seconds in. He just waits so long to let us flip off that. Cringe Society just did not see that one coming at all.
Not at all.
These guys are the best in the business, man. I'm, as you said, a little bit lower skill level than these guys, and maybe one day.
Oh my gosh, Amphis again! Someone get this kid back to school or something, or put him in detention, timeout. I don't know, because he is just straight up bullying Cringe Society at the start of this second game. First that delayed stealing shot, and then that solo bump onto Jules with his own shot. This is just not nice.
Yeah, Amphis is, undoubtedly one of the best players in the region, and he showcases it there with 2 goals in, less than 30 seconds. He's such a good player. He makes a lot of things happen, and, he's such a good judge of play. He can just read everything that's going to happen before it happens, and I feel like a lot of these players in here can do that.
So earlier on my own cast, I was like trying to compare teams to NFL teams to be who is who. And right now, I would put Ground Zero as the Kansas City Chiefs, and Amphis is Patrick Mahomes. It's absolutely insane what he's been able to do with that support around him that help enable him, but at the same time, it's hard to argue that he's not the best player in the region right now. Pass across the box, but is unable to follow through. And yes, that does mean Express's Andy Reid, and Torsos, I guess it would be Trevor Kelsey. Either way, though, Ground Zero playing at that level right now, they are looking like a championship team. At least early on in this series. Granted, we've seen Cringe Society bounce back before. They're on the attack right now. Can they make it happen?
I think they're going to put a damn good effort into making this happen as Express takes that down. He's by himself here. He's got a flip, chooses not to use it. And Torsos is going to try and put that one into mid. Express going for a bump. Attempt on Drippe. Doesn't manage to find it. And Drippe pops that one up into the sky. Deca trying to go for a read there. But Amphis again shutting that down. He does have a flip. But Jules is going to meet him on that 50-50.
All right, just real quick, to stop the confusion in the chat, Kansas City Chiefs #1 seed right now in the NFL. Either way, Drippe pass to Jules. That's a 2-1 lead. Tight infield passes does give Cringe Society the advantage in the goal. Still 3 minutes left. They still need to find one more, but they are right back in this one.
Absolutely. There's 3 minutes left, and Jules managing to find that one puts them slightly closer to coming back to being tied and getting themselves closer to winning the game.
As we do see Jules get bumped off the ball right there. Deca looking to push it forward. Can't beat out Express, as they'll now have to fall back. Drippe trying to make the read. Does wind up pinching it across the middle of the field. And here comes Cringe Society. Drippe has a chance to spike this one in. Doesn't even need to use the ground. It's just a straight missile shot into the top of the goal. We're tied once again.
Deca flying across to get that bump attempt on Amphis and scared him enough that ball was just gonna fly straight in. Deca having so much boost left to work with, having the knowledge and the guts to just go for that bump in the air was just really, really such a good play to go for, and managed to get them that goal. So now it's 2 apiece, tied up.
As Torsos does look to shut down the play, eventually winds up passing across the middle, but no one's there. Cringe Society will take advantage of that. Drippe, again, he's been playing more aggressive than we've seen, or at least I've seen in recent days. I could be misreading how the team has been progressing, but absolutely been looking phenomenal at the moment. Torsos tries to dribble it past Drippe, who instead will take it back, flicks it back towards the middle of the field, takes it himself, can't put it in, but Jules is there! Amphis comes up big with the save, and Deca unable to finish the job. Jules still keeping it in the box, at least until Torsos muscles it off of him. This attack still can be dangerous, yet little touches, little niggling annoyances do keep Ground Zero safe.
Oh man, Drippe's not going to be happy with himself with that one. Could have got the goal to secure that 1-4 lead, but just could not find it. But here comes Amphis trying to get a play going. Deca shuts it down as Torsos is just trying to get that clear out. They're sort of just getting small touches here in the Ground Zero half, trying to set something up, maybe trying to get some boost. And Express puts it into mid for Amphis, but couldn't find the shot. Jules is pressuring, trying to just muck up anything that they're going for. Ground Zero, Amphis trying to set up a play, but nerves might be setting in as he's starting to whiff a little bit. Amphis. Oh, Jules met by Torsos.
Yeah, that is a dangerous situation. Triple commit from Cringe Society. Yet they're not going to get punished for it right there. I don't know, maybe that was the elusive triple pinch play. We haven't seen one of those in a good long while. Not even sure they exist. Either way, a minute 2 still to go. Challenge in the air. It is looking good. Jules, unfortunately, no boost to finish that attack. Just under a minute to go. Still a tie game. Cringe Society has been on that offense a bit more. Express trying to get some bumps, trying to get anything to help this defense find that clear, find the gap in these tight rotations. But Cringe Society continued to pressure that net, courtesy of Deca, saved by Express. who now looks to go the other way. Amphis will follow through, and now maybe Ground Zero can look for a way to finish this one out. Ball tries to get to the backboard, but Deca reads it.
Oh man, it's getting down to the wire here. 30 seconds left, 2-2, and it's 2-2 also in the series.
No!
Are we going to see that overtime that looked like it could have gone all the way, but Amphis manages to get back? I kind of hope that we make it to overtime here just so we can see these teams at their all-time most nervous moment.
Torsos disagrees with you!
Oh
He
my
cares
gosh.
not for your overtime. He cares not for the most dramatic end possible. Instead, he gets a double touch 89-degree angle shot. It hit the ground, so it's not a perfect 10, but it's a 9.9, and it probably is advancing Ground Zero to the final.
That was such a crazy angle for Torsos to work with. He's such a mechanical player, and he can hit those any day of the week. Getting down to the wire here. There's no time left for Cringe as they get put down there. 3-2 in the series, and well done to Ground Zero for bringing that back. Oh, man.
I was having a chat with my housemate before, and Game 5 series winning goals, or Game 7 series winning goals, they're one of two things, Kanos. They're either some insanely mechanical play that, like, you clip, highlight, you share on Twitter, you go, oh my gosh, this player is cooked. Or they're these random dribblers or own goals or just huge mistakes. Like, it's never an average standard goal. It's always something dramatic. And I thought Laxton's goal to get Team Process into the top 8 was going to be the goal of the night. Torsos just spanked that one. Now, forget about Laxton, forget about that. I'll show you a dramatic game-winning goal. That double touch was phenomenal. The angle, the pressure, the timing, great stuff for Ground Zero, and they're going to be carrying that momentum now into a grand final matchup against the Direwolves.
Oh, man, and that's going to be such a good lineup indeed.
It's
Torsos, you know, what else is there to say about this man? He does it time and time again. I'm going to say that, you know, he's probably next to Amphis as the best player in OCE. Torsos is just a phenomenal player. You know, he's known all around the globe for being a top-tier player. And to get that angle, you need to be at the top tier of gameplay in Rocket League. And that was just fantastic to see.
Yeah, that was a great goal. Couldn't ask for much more if you're a fan of Ground Zero. And for Cringe Society, that's going to be a tougher pill to swallow than most. They're going back to the drawing board, but they still have plenty of time before, you know, not only next week, but our next major. So I don't think we've seen the last of Cringe Society just yet, only for tonight. When we return, however, it's arguably the two best teams in the region, Direwolves versus Ground Zero. You could not ask for a better finals than this, so stick with us. More Rocket League when we return.
All our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been.
2021 has been a year of surprises thus far in our region, yet tonight it's actually been surprisingly the most normal. Maybe that's the biggest surprise of them all, but what is perceived as the two top teams in our region are finally meeting in a tournament finals. It's going to be the Direwolves taking on Ground Zero. A lot on the line in terms of bragging rights, as both these teams most likely have qualified by this stage for that top 8. It's realistically, it's only seeding on the line, but you know both of them want to win this one. Both of them want to claim they're the best team within our humble region, and now is the time for each of them to prove it.
Absolutely, it's down to bragging rights at this point, and you know it's down to who's the best in the region. Direwolves and Ground Zero, definitely the two top teams to be there, deserve to be there. Who's your prediction for this one, Max?
You're just throwing me on the spot already, but I'm going to go with what I said earlier tonight. I think Ground Zero is probably going to take this one. I'm leaning on them in a 4-2 victory. Cringe Society definitely challenged, but you have to remember Cringe Society's playstyle vastly different to how the Direwolves approach the game. Direwolves, especially under recent months, have been a lot more defensive-oriented, actually, and trying to find counterattacks. And then with those counterattacks, do crazy things with the ball. The reason why I'm kind of leaning towards Ground Zero to take the series has Express. I think Express matches up very well into the Direwolves, and historically has been coming up big a lot of times with some pretty clutch saves and some pretty clutch moments against this lineup. However, Express didn't really look like himself at the start of that last series, so perhaps there are going to be opportunities for the Direwolves to sort of weasel their way in this one and maybe take that top spot away from Ground Zero.
Ooh, for sure. I think it is down to Express, like you said, and you know, Amphis is playing out of his mind. Torso is playing out of his mind, so I do think it's down to Express on that roster. But Direwolves is another whole thing. I think all of them are playing fantastic, and you know, if Express is lacking, it's going to be Direwolves' game, man, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at that same token, Direwolves, you cannot give them that space. You cannot let them play with the ball. You can't let them get some of those crazy passes. They will punish you for it. And the Direwolves have been looking better than they've had in such a long time so far. I mean, they are coming into this, in my eyes, like, I will straight up say, Ground Zero is my number 1 team. Direwolves are a very close number 2 team, and results, wins in situations like this is how you start to see that power balance shift. This is going to be an exciting series, that is for sure. I think it's going to answer a lot of questions and maybe ask a few more as we approach our next final. Of course, you know, our regional winter final, that's right around the corner. Wouldn't be surprised to see these two teams meet again in the finals there as well. So a little bit of a teaser for the big money match in the future, as the players soon will be jumping in. Soon we'll be kicking this one off. I hope you people in the chat have gotten, you know, your own predictions, your own stream point bets. I don't really understand how that works. I'm old. I'm a boomer. What I know is we are about to kick off, Kanos.
You're a boomer, you reckon, huh? And here we go, the finals. Let's go. Express, Fiber, they meet each other in the middle. Zen is up already with the flip reset. Not 5 seconds in, flip resets are already happening. We know this is the final going down, and Amphis tries to set that one up. Fiber's just going to try and shut it all down. Torso's going for just a bit of a shot there, but met by Zen as it's coming down. Express popping it to himself, waiting a little bit, trying to pop it to middle, but it's Zen to Misty. Torsos has to get up before Fiber can set that one into the middle.
We're starting to see the demo game come into play already from this Ground Zero defense, and as a result, poor Misty on their own out in front. It's now Amphis looks to go the other way. Solo plays, taking advantage of those moments when Direwolves do decide to attack, could prove to be a good avenue for Ground Zero moving forward in this series, as Direwolves tend to press back when they do push forward. That's when you need to find those moments to strike. Amphis thought he found one. Torsos thinks he has one right now. Can't connect onto Amphis, but Express is there. Doesn't want to take the shot with that many defenders. Tight rotation, tight strike from Amphis, and it's a 1-0 lead for Ground Zero.
Ground Zero coming out swinging. Express, oh man, just gets that flip reset as he passes it to the backboard straight out and had that flip to then put it into the middle. Such a strong play coming straight out from Ground Zero. They're showing what they're going to bring this game as we get into it here. 4 minutes left. Amphis with a demo on Zen. Express having a bit of trouble trying to connect with that ball there as Misty tries to put it to mid, but met by Torsos. Zen, oh no, Express looks a little bit awkward, but Torsos will bail him out of trouble there. Fiber, I think he has a flip. Could not manage to connect there.
That was a scary situation. You don't want to see Fiverr with the flip on top of the ball. You don't want to see any members on this team, to be quite honest, with the flip in their pocket above the net. I mean, everyone on the Direwolves can pull off some of the best mech you will see in this region as we see a bit of midfield play to follow it up. Still, though, Ground Zero have the lead. They're on the attack. Expect to see a lot more attacks as well come from Ground Zero. Just because that's the case doesn't mean the Direwolves are going to be necessarily uncomfortable. They're okay playing on the back foot and finding their own opportunities. So it's going to be a tough game to read in that sense. It's all about, can the Ground Zero side find those counterattack moments? They've already found one. Will they be able to find another in the final 3 minutes of this game?
Oh, for sure. That's what it comes down to. And Misty pops that one down, trying to set it up for his team, but Zen is not coming up. He knew that one was going to get cleared back from Ground Zero, so a lot of respect coming out of Zen here for the Ground Zero team. I think he knows what he's dealing with here as it drops down into mid. Misty tries to pop that one to mid, but just gets a little bit of a whiff there as he gets another chance, but Torsos is going to pop that down to Direwolf's side, and Zen's going to try and pass that one, but Amphis is going to shut that down.
I mean, he just shows that in that respect, though. We all remember what he did back in week 1 of this month. That Game 7 reset goal to give Direwolves that tournament victory over, I believe it was Solicit at the time. You've got to show all the players on both these teams the respect they deserve, as Express actually has a little reset himself. Only one, though. Amphis able to follow it up. Ball tries to get to the backboard, but won't be able to find that next touch. Misty does get stuffed by Torsos, doesn't find his second strike. Under 2 minutes left to play. Still a 1-0 game, but that might change. No! The angle a little bit too high.
Amphis carrying it here, trying to get past him. Oh my gosh, he does. He carries it round 2 players with ease. He's such a good mechanical player. He drifted that and then popped it for Fiverr, and oh my gosh, what a huge goal coming out of him from that one.
2-0 lead for the Ground Zero side. And that might be enough to win this, but Fiverr off the kickoff finds the perfect avenue to cheat, and we still gotta have ourselves a 1-goal game as we approach our final 95 seconds.
Yeah, 1 minute 30 left, and Fiverr managing to just put that one away nice and early, giving his team another chance to come back and take this first game. So well done to him for doing that. As Fiverr meets Express here, but gets past him with no problem at all, and Amphis is going to try and solo take this one up. He gets it to the backboard and almost puts it down into the goal.
That said, the defense from the Direwolves doing a good job despite some very dangerous attacks initially. Express really wants to get this reflip pass set up and through. That's the second time we've seen him go for it. Unable to get it this time. Torsos tries to play backboard, but Zen's going to go ahead and intercept it away. Fiverr from underneath is going to try to establish some attacking pressure and won't be able to get much. Amphis there to punish. 3-1 lead for Ground Zero.
Oh man, they're just making it look too easy right now. 3-1 up with a minute left, first game. They're coming in warm too. They're coming in, beating Cringe. So, hey, they might just have that ball rolling and they just got to keep that going and just don't stop at all. Amphis trying to save this one off the backboard. As he gets a flick up to Torsos, there is a Rule 1 in the goal there by the looks of it.
Yeah, there is a Rule
like
1. It's Fiverr and Express. And they're still sticking with it. Like, they're not breaking this Rule 1 in the goal. We've got ourselves a 2v2 on our hands. Torsos going to try to establish some attacking pressure, but the 1v1, the real battle right now, actually, they're getting a little dangerous. The ball's coming close. Amphis pops it up. Look, I have to admit, I have my cam set on Fiverr right now. I'm watching this 1v1 as they are going at it. Took us away from the ball, but I don't know. It looks like Ground Zero is going to win the game, but who's going to win the 1v, the Rule 1? Torsos is!
Oh man, they have. I think they knew that Ground Zero was going to take that first game. So hey, you know what? We'll just stick this out. We'll just stick this Rule 1 out because you know what? 3 goals up in the first game with 30-40 seconds left. It's not going to happen. Ground Zero are going to take that one, and we'll just reset in the team of Direwolves and try and get it going next game.
Also, I find it interesting. Slightly off topic, but so I believe that was Amphis. Sorry, that's not Amphis. Wait, who had it? Yeah, it's Fiverr. Fiverr is repping the Oakland Raiders car, right? As he puts in that goal right there, you can see Oakland Raiders NFL team. Yeah, we're doing another NFL reference. The reason why I find this interesting, the Raiders are like the arch rivals of the Chiefs, who I compared Ground Zero to. Just a fun fact. just a fun fact. Those two teams hate each other, so kind of cool to see that.
That is cool. As this one is going to touch the ground. Ground Zero taking that first game with a bit of ease, if I may say. It looks like Ground Zero coming in very, very warm.
No, they're looking, again, they just got a Game 5 victory off of an insane double touch from Torsos to beat their arch rival team in Korean Society. Of course, they're coming in hot. And I feel bad for the Direwolves because I feel like they're feeling the brunt of this forest fire that Ground Zero has become. And when you burn down the forest, you get rid of the wolves' habitat, and you force them in situations where they don't want to be in. Awkward attacks leading to quick counterattack responses from Ground Zero gave them a lot of those goals. And moving forward right now, it's going to be up to the Direwolves to sort of reestablish their territory, play more of the game they want to play, and maybe find a way back in this series.
For sure, man. Ground Zero looking solid in this game, this series. Direwolves going to have to change up a lot of things to get any chance of beating Ground Zero. We know they can do it. We know Zen definitely has the skills to do it, as we saw in that first week. So hopefully they can have a little chat, sort out some things. I don't think there was too many errors.
No, I don't think there were too many errors realistically on either side. It was just the stylistic changes that seemed to benefit Ground Zero a little bit more in this matchup. And I did mention Express as kind of being one of those key players to watch. He had that subtle, strong performance that he pretty much had all through 2020, where it's just consistency, nothing too flashy, nothing too outrageous, but consistent defensive efforts that sort of stop a lot of these Direwolves attacks. Now, you saw the kickoff, you saw that late goal as well. Direwolves still can create those moments. It's not like Ground Zero is unbeatable, but game number one, the matchup, how the game played out, definitely kind of co-aligning in what we expect between these two teams as Torsos nearly gets that dribble all the way through.
Yep, and here comes Fiber. Making his way down. Torsos trying to pop it off the backboard. Tries to get himself a shot. Almost does so. Stress. Anvis is going to climb up the wall here, try and put it back into mid for his team. But Misty is going to take a shot from across the field.
And it will be Express now looking to connect with the Amphis. Interception already. Torsos actually a little too far forward, forced to fall back. Misty there to challenge in that corner. Do we see a more aggressive approach from the Direwolves? One attacker misses, and the second attacker watches the pinch behind him. Amphis now with that corner boost, with a real chance. Can't make the read on Fiber's defensive touch. A nice ceiling flick. Doesn't get the bump on the Torsos. Misty and Fiber do get punched up in the corner, and that leaves an exposed net across the middle, but not enough power from Torsos to punish just yet.
Sure, and here comes Torsos, pops it down. Fiber's going to have plenty of boost to follow that one back down into the Ground Zero half. As Amphis tries to find Torsos, they're trying to get some passing plays here. As Amphis is up in the sky, and he puts it top right bins and takes that first goal.
You can't give Ground Zero this much time and space across the middle of the field, especially not Amphis, who we know has the ability to put the ball wherever he wants. Poor Zen had to just jump up into that with a hope and a prayer, and it was not going to work out. An easy cross-up, and for Amphis, that was a very easy goal. I like that bump from Misty onto Express, yet Amphis is there to follow it through. 1-0 lead from Ground Zero early into game number 2.
Sure, but here comes Express trying to make it number 2 goal. Doesn't manage to do so, as Misty is trying to slow it down here, trying to get a bit of a solo play going. Manages to get past 1, past 2. Oh, Torsos is going to shut him down. Doesn't have any boost to work with, and Torsos is just going to keep carrying this play on. And here comes Amphis in the middle, chunks it off the backboard, seeing if he can get anything to happen. But Fiber is going to get that flip. Express managing to stick with it, but Torsos is last back. But Fiber is there. Manages to get that block. Torsos.
Oh, that's a pass! You can't ask for more from Zen than that right there. Perfectly placed for Misty, and we got ourselves a tied game.
Very nice infield pass from Zen. Misty is not going to miss a shot like that. And yeah, Direwolves bring it back to 1-0 with 3 minutes left. Fiber and Amphis head to head in the middle there. Express trying to clear it out. Torsos also tries to clear it out. They don't have much boost to work with. They need to get it out of their half before Direwolves can come in and score. Anthus bumped out by Zen, but here comes Misty trying to pass it infield to Fiber. Does so, but luckily Express manages to get that block.
Yeah, that was a big and critical save from Express at a key moment. Misty tries to clear across the middle, but Anthus will be there to shut it down. Up in the skies, Fiber keeps that ball held up high, swinging a miss from underneath. Misty now will push forward as Torsos keeps the ball held up. Anthus able to make that save. 2 minutes 18 remaining. We're seeing, those deep rotations come back into play for the Direwolves, but Anthus cuts it off mid-pitch a little bit lower, and that's a 2-1 game.
Wow, Anthus, he's so mechanical. He just comes flying off the wall, off the ceiling, and he'll just find the ball. Anywhere it will be, he will find it. Fiber decides to come back down, gets the top over one, and there comes Zen flying in, trusting his teammate to get that. That takes a lot of trust in your team to be able to take on, these top tier players. Get past one, not but one, but two, and Zen just flies in and puts that one home.
Direwolves, deep rotations, and tight infield passes. They do this better than most other teams in our region, if not all of them at the moment. And they turn that into a 2-1 lead right now. Zen doing a great job when on the attacking half so far this game, really on both sides of the field right now. Zen is putting forth another great performance. So too is one Fiber. Although he can't make the read off the backboard right there. Misty absolutely can. Torso swings and misses, but no one is there to punish. Oh, that's not something you see every day. Torso's completely whiffing a ball.
Oh, for sure. And I think Ground Zero are going to be a little bit upset if that one did lead to a goal. So, unfortunate for them. Express trying to keep it in play. Zen just pinches that one out. Torsos trying to keep it in play. He's so good at those 50s. Just uses that dominance and just puts it right in front of the ball and just says, no, it's not going anywhere. I'm going to win this 50.
Nice lob up from Zen. Will be caught by Torsos. That's actually going to turn into a dangerous shot. Miss from Misty. And it goes in the net. That's not how you want to tie the game. Misty, what just happened?
Oh no, not like that. That one is an embarrassing one, unfortunately. A big whiff from Misty there. 1 minute left, so Ground Zero probably laughing at that one as they can have another chance at this.
You know what it is? Direwolves want to beat Ground Zero that badly that... Hold on! Fiber with the reset flick! Forget my joke! Clip that goal because Direwolves retake the lead. Woo.
Oh, wow. That was such a nice goal to watch. That was perfect. It flew just underneath that bar off of that flip and it just went straight in. It's easy for Fiber. He hits these all day long. It's about time we start seeing some stuff coming out of Fiber though. As we all know, he can do those shots. Express, a lot of boost to work with, but met by Fiber up in the air. No one's really home for Ground Zero, but here comes Torsos with Anthus behind him. They need to get past Misty and Zen here. So they managed to basically get past them. Express up early, but Misty's going to send that one down for Fiber. He's up. Anthus going to be really patient and manages to get that save, but here comes Misty. Oh no, a big whiff and leaves Zen back by himself.
10 seconds to go. Zen still going clear from that corner. Last ditch effort for Ground Zero, and it's not looking too good. A swing and a miss from Express. Torsos buying time, has to go for that solo play. Keeps the ball in the air, but Misty takes it off of him. Too many Ground Zero players beneath it, yet still finds the avenue through, and the Direwolves tie the series up at 1 apiece.
Different game from Direwolves there. They played really well. A couple of whiffs from Misty, though, that I will mention.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I was trying to say before, okay? Misty, Torsos had a chance to get the save and missed it entirely, but it didn't turn into a goal, right? Misty, wanting to be better than Ground Zero in every facet of the game, says, no, that was a whiff. This is a whiff. I'll show you what a real whiff is. And just has to beat Ground Zero even in that as well. I was trying to say that, and then Fiber pulls off that reset goal. It's like, okay, yeah, no, the Direwolves are winning this game. No one can stop them. Going into game number 3 right now, though, I'm glad we're seeing both teams play to their strengths because we're seeing a real test of skill and a real fight right now to sort of determine who is that number 1 team in the region.
Oh, for sure. They're all putting it out there. And as we said, I think it's Express that it comes down to in Ground Zero to it's do or die for Ground Zero with Express. So not much coming from Express in that game, and they did manage to lose that game. So hopefully we can see a little bit more coming from Express in this game coming.
Yeah, hopefully we do get to see that as we get ready to go for our next matchup. Game number 3, win this, and well, normally you'd be saying, yeah, you're at match point, but there's still plenty of time for these teams to fill each other out. I am expecting this to possibly go 7 games. I feel like this could be one of those blow-for-blow series, and Zen can't find that pass back off the backboard to Misty. Now we get to see Ground Zero on the attack. The question is, will the Direwolves try to find that quick counter, especially with so many of Ground Zero members pressed forward? Fiber actually will try to take it over the top. It's on target, but Amphis is there underneath.
Here comes Misty. He's still pressuring Zen. Bit of a feels backflip there, but Express over to Amphis gets the shot on target, but Fiber's going to put that one away and say no, thank you. Torsos up really early. Can he get the read off the backboard? No, he doesn't. Fiber tries to put that one to the side and manages to get past Amphis. Zen was waiting there mid. Did you see that? He's sneaking. Yep. He's waiting, ready and waiting.
Oh, no way! Oh, Amphis goes for the double, or the reset, I should say. He's not going to find it, but Express will from the third man position straight down the center. So many mechanically skilled players in this series. Anytime someone has boost ball and an opening, you've got to hold your breath because you expect greatness to happen. Yet it's the power of the players behind these plays that seemingly are the difference right now in this series.
Oh, exactly. It's those players that can follow up that play that was originally thought out by the players at the front, and that's what sets it all up, though, is those fantastic plays. But you got to have faith in your team to be able to come through and just put that one away. You know, if you're triple committing, you need to have faith, and that's exactly what they're doing. Amphis manages to get to the ceiling, gets his flip, waits so long before using it, and also a bit of a whiff there as he guns down and finds Misty. He's just being annoying right now. Zen popping it up, trying to pop into middle for Fiber. Actually goes for the shot on goal, but Express is just going to shut that one down. Torsos just trying to follow it for the 50. Here comes Fiber. Oh, bit of a double commit there from Zen and Fiber. Bit of a miscommunication from them. Torsos is going to put that one to the wall for himself. Comes back onto it. He's got such good control with this car. Amphis back to Express, back to Torsos. There's a whole lot of passing plays going on right now.
Yeah,
it really is soccer. And Cars and Express just needs to put the one on target, and he does it. And puts that one up for 2-0 Ground Zero.
Yeah, too many defenders from the Direwolves trying to play up high and then unable to rotate back fast enough. It's one of those goals where it feels like an attacker was able to cheat forward and not really get noticed right away. As a result, it's a 2-0 lead for Ground Zero, and could be going game for game in this series, perhaps. They can hold on for another 3 minutes or so. Usually when the Direwolves start to fall behind, that's when they get a bit more aggressive and can sometimes get punished. But in doing so, well, less. Misty finds the goal here. Torsos from above the net makes a big save, and now Amphis tries to grab it that other way. Tight rotation, though, coming from the Wolf pack. Only momentarily, Torsos tries to clear through, gets that bump onto Mitzi, which means plenty of time for Ground Zero to really approach this defensive effort how they would like, and Express, he wants to play the solo game, clear across the middle of the field, then gets there first, looking to pass it to Fiber, has the reset, has the shot, but Torsos makes a delayed effort on that save, comes up huge.
Oh, for sure, and here comes Torsos just trying to get it down. If he managed to get over Fiber, that could have been the third goal from Ground Zero. But it doesn't happen, and Amphis just waiting around, seeing what Zen's going to do with the ball, and Zen was waiting for him to hit it so that he could go for that shot, but Misty unfortunately just could not connect there. That may have been a goal there if he could have got a little touch on the ball, but Torsos trying to get something set up again, but here comes Zen. They've got two players. Oh, Fiber tries to get the bump on Amphis, but it just doesn't work out for him.
Yeah, there's
no commit there.
Double commit city almost. Fiber looking for that pass across the middle. Double commit from the defense, yet Express once again. That third defensive effort kind of bailing Ground Zero out of some dangerous situations. Amphis will be chased by Misty all the way to their own corner. Torsos weak touch, but Amphis there to follow through. Fiber Should be able to cut Amphis off, but Express will hold the ball in place, give Amphis time to collect that boost. Den would be the one looking for the shot, but the late touch actually turns it back around. Fiber forced to play off their own backboard, look for another play through the wall. Torsos can't make the read from underneath. As we approach our final minute of play, Misty trying to bring us back within 1 goal, but the save is made by who else but Express.
Fiber trying to give him his boys some time here, but Amphis is going to say no way. As no! In front of the goal. Oh my gosh, they don't need the goal, but they're just saying, hey, we're just going to embarrass you now and get another one. Express fakes out Misty there. It's only Zen left in goal, and they're all there, all three of them. And it's going to be a goal. No problem at all for Ground Zero.
I mean, that entire defensive effort almost felt like a 2v3, as you can kind of see. It was maybe more 1v3 at some stages, but Misty was so deep into enemy territory, trying to cheat forward, waiting for that big booming clear. And again, this is one of the reasons sometimes that when the Direwolves lose, they lose big, because they get more ambitious and they sometimes try to force issues and try to force their counterattack style when they're behind, when it doesn't always pay off. So a 3-0 lead right now in favor of Ground Zero. They're going to hold on to this one in game number 3 as we look ahead towards game number 4 right now. Ground Zero back in control of this series, and once again, it falls upon the Direwolves to try and find an answer to tie the series back up.
Sure, and it has been going game for game, so we do expect, if it's been going the way it's going, that Direwolves are going to take the next game, but in such top-tier times, top-tier games, it's hard to say with such a convincing game from Ground Zero there.
Yeah, that was a fantastic performance from Ground Zero, and credit where credit is due, actually. I was impressed by the Direwolves. I don't know, what word do I want to use right here? I guess their structure is the word I want to use. They kept themselves under control. I mean, equal shots at the end of that game. They just weren't able to finish some of their shots. That game could have easily been tied, or maybe a slight advantage for in the Direwolves' favor. They had those opportunities. If they finished those, we're looking at a closer game. So I do believe that Game 3 was a lot closer than what the scoreline tells us, and that is credit to the Direwolves playing more disciplined. That's the word I was looking for. They were playing a lot more disciplined than what they sometimes do when behind. Oh, Amphis nearly finds the kickoff goal. Express tries to punish it through, and now Torsos has to go 1v1 against Zen. Keeps it up in the air. Express falls it through. Where's the second Wolf? Not really coming along with the pack this time, and unfortunately for the Direwolves, they don't get their quick counter.
I love that whole thing with the Wolfpack, because that's what it is. As Zen comes through and puts that away, I'm going to call him the leader of the pack. Zen, such a fantastic player, and who else but him just to come in and put that one away.
You can call Zen an alpha with plays like that. Absolutely, for sure, as they do take that 1-0 lead right now. And it's interesting, because Zen tries to make the play alone. Can't happen, but with the power of the pack behind him, always stronger than a lone wolf. We need to get a hangover somehow in this as well. Either way, we're going to see some pressure moving forward. Fiber now, late flick up in the air, is going to get that next touch, and Fiber barely able to do it on its own. But again, the backup from the pack, this time with Misty, makes it a 2-0 lead.
Wow, Fiber, it's just got such good control. The ball to land on his car, and for him to set up a flick within like 1 second, that takes a lot of skill to be able to do. That ain't luck. If anyone says that's luck, they're lying. That's skill. Fiber is such a fantastic player when it comes to dribbling. Anything, really.
Fiber is just a good player. I absolutely. And again, he's one of these players that you only expect to see get stronger and stronger as they continue to develop and to find themselves who they are as a player, who they are as a person to a lesser extent. Still very young, very early in Fiber's career, and one of those players that we're excited to see where he goes. As it stands, so 3:47 left in this game. 2-0 lead for the Direwolves. If Misty looks to play off that side wall, avoids the bump. Keeps that attacking pressure moving forward. Torsos, small read, clears it across the middle of the field. Then cuts it off, trying to find Fiber, but Torsos gets his own little interception. And Ground Zero now feeling a bit more of that pressure. They might have an attack right here. Then shuts it down.
Zen is such... Oh man, he just comes flying in and he manages to get that save, but he had so much speed, so he must have known exactly where the ball was going to go. Zen is passed back and manages to get that save. Fiber tries to get control here, flips under the ball there as Express has got possession. Now going for a play, manages to get around one, but Fiber just comes flying in and shuts that one down. Express off the ceiling. Nope. Torsos. He's got possession. He's trying to go underneath. Unfortunately, couldn't make it happen. Amphis. Zen again. He's going to shut that one down, but back into the mid for Express. And manages to put that one in with 3 minutes left. 2-1 up.
Yeah,
For the team.
as we watched this one again, Torsos just reading Zen's play, and no one in the middle of the field to stop the shot from Express, as Zen was the second member. Third member deciding to play post, the inside post as opposed to the outside post. That gets exploited, and now we're looking at a ground zero comeback. Perhaps Express can't get to that ball quite fast enough. Either way, ground zero still back in this game. Torsos unable to get to it before Misty. And now Fiber has a chance. That net looks pretty open, but with two defenders rotating around, can't get the strike he's looking for.
Sure, Zen popping that one down, trying to keep it in the ground zero half, and Fiber is just always in the play at the moment. Zen tries to get that ground push, doesn't have any boost to work with, and Express is going to come in and shut that one down, and shuts Misty down again straight after that. Amphis goes for the shot, but Fiber's going to shut that one down and get a nice save onto that one.
As we see, Den actually gets demoed in the corner right now. Amphis is going to try to hold it in place for as long as possible. Late touch, Express with a chance, going for the double, but cannot get underneath it. Enough, the shot from Torsos is going to be saved by Zen as well. And this is more the Direwolf style we're used to seeing, making these clean saves, waiting for that chance to find the counterattack, and Fiber thinks he has it. Unable to get the second touch before Torsos. Missy tries to follow through, but that's a big miss. Zen can't go for that boot, says he wants to, forced to try to play that backward read. Amphis with a chance to equalize, but cannot put the shot on target. Express's shot stopped by Fiber as well, and the Direwolf survive a dangerous situation.
Oh man, ground zero are putting it all out there. They're putting so many shots on. They're trying to get that catch-up goal, and it's just not happening. The defense of Direwolves is just so good. As I say that, though, they were so close to matching that. Now Misty has a lot of time on the hands.
Oh, that's a shot. That's a shot. Amphis gets it done in the 2v1, yet only using himself. 2-2 game. We are tied with a minute 11 left to play.
Zen had to go for that save and unfortunately missed it, and Amphis puts that one away. 2-2 with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go. It's anyone's game right now, but ground zero is 2-1 up in the series. Express into mid. No one's with him. It's a 50 on Fiber. Still up mid. Direwolves half. Torsos puts it to mid. Amphis tries to fight.
Can't find him just yet. 2-2 game. Amphis going up for the ball. Gets the first touch. Looking for the second as well. Doesn't have the flip, but goes for the pinch instead. Fiber does have the read this time around. Express from the wall. Actually whiffs, but Torsos still there. Gets the demo, but loses control of the ball. Amphis, nice corralling of it. Again, it's Amphis versus Zen. Round 2, and Amphis comes out on top for the second time. 3-2 lead in favor of ground zero.
Wow. Such a good matchup there. Amphis and Zen, but Amphis just had such good control, and he was always going to pop that one over the top of Zen as soon as he thought that Zen was going to go for the ball. 3-2 up, 41 seconds to go. It's in favor of ground zero. They could be up 3-1 in the series, but still plenty of time to go. Can't rule them out. Torsos trying to keep it near his card.
Oh, Amphis again. Does he do it to Fiber now? Gets the ball slowly rolling. Fiber tries to recover, and it's Torsos who follows it through. That's going to be the 4-2 lead. That's going to be the 3-1 series lead. And ground zero off of the setups and plays from Amphis are taking over this grand final.
Absolutely off Amphis. He's setting everything up right now. He's bringing his team back to victory. They were down. Now they're up Amphis. Again, he's got the flip, tries to get another one. Torsos is up, but Misty tries to get up as well. Straight down for Express. Fiber manages to get a save there. There's only 7 seconds left, and Direwolves are down by 2. It's just not going to happen. And it's looking like it's going to be 3-1 in the series for ground zero.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case. Only one game away from taking this Masters event, and it would be pretty big for them. They did take last week as well, looking to go back-to-back in that regards. And I have to double-check things. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they also, are the winners back in well, they weren't the winners back in week 1. That was the Direwolves. But nonetheless, I mean, back-to-back RLO Masters victories would be pretty huge for ground zero. Just got to win one more game. And with the way they're playing, with the way Amphis is playing in particular right now, it seems like nothing can stop them on this warpath.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Amphis is just going crazy on the field. And, his team, as you said, his team is always there and backing him up. And you need your team to be able to finish off those goals no matter what happens. And, Amphis is still the one who's setting up a lot of these plays. He's doing those solo plays to get past one or two players. And then, Torsos and Express are coming in to finish off those goals.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't finish them.
That said, though, I think Fernando, OCE, in the chat does have it right, though. As amazing as he is, that car, though, that ain't it. So can he really be a great player? If the style isn't there, can he really be that great player? Had this chat with the team before, actually. Again, as I mentioned last Friday, we were talking about car styles and sort of who had that best style. And even then, it was actually Jimmo who said their coach had the worst style in cars. Amphis, obviously heavily influenced by Jimma, having played underneath the coach for almost a year, if not over a year now, starting to rub off with the ugly cars. So there you have it. Either way, it is time for Game 5. If Ground Zero wins this, they take the series, they take the tournament, and the Direwolves, it's do or die. Can they win 3 in a row?
Do or die for sure for Direwolves. A lot on the line. They need to get something going. I think they're going to be playing a lot more smarter this time. They're not going to go for those triple commits like we've seen them do. They're going to have one back and just try and keep the defense on. As I say, the Amphis almost scores a goal. And Misty's just going to try and slow that one down and try and get past Express. He does, but Torsos is going to be there to clear that one away. Gets the flip, gets the second touch off the backboard, but Zen's going to try and roll that one out. Amphis is there waiting, goes for the bump, scares Misty enough to miss the ball and gets the goal. 1 up, 4 minutes left, Ground Zero.
And again, it's Amphis beating not 1, not 2, but all 3 defenders by himself. Nothing the Direwolves can do seem to be able to contain him. Now, I didn't get a chance to touch on this before. The Direwolves historically have been a very momentum-heavy team, right? It usually takes one big moment, one big goal for this team to suddenly switch on. I call them the most dangerous team in terms of pulling off reverse sweeps, because we've already seen, close to, and in some cases, actually pulling off these kind of crazy comebacks already from this side. So even with this 1-goal lead, I'm not writing the Direwolves off yet, but even in those situations, usually you see those signs of life, those opportunities. Amphis feels like he's single-handedly just shutting down any momentum the Direwolves are able to obtain for themselves, and I don't know how they're going to find that moment to come back. Perhaps it comes from Fiber right here. Shot on target, saved by Express.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Once that first goal sets in, they've got the confidence. They're happy. The morale is up. Hey, guys, we can do this. We can win. So we just need to see that goal from Direwolves to start that off. And we're just going to have to see a little bit of Ground Zero defense lacking for that to happen, or for a Direwolves member to pop off. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen here. Torsos clears that out. Fiber's going to go for the pre-flip, sorry. His Express is lost back. Although Zen, here comes Zen.
Oh my gosh, Amphis again, this time on defense, stopping that shot from Zen. Does get a nice touch over the top of Misty, but Zen will beat him to the play. Express and Torthos each in the goal. Zen still trying to find the pass. From behind, Amphis gets the bump onto Fiber, and he's forced to back pass it instead. They just can't get away from Amphis. It feels like this time Express now wanting to get in that bump game. Fiber still will find that shot. Torthos off the backboard, keeps it in the corner. Still half a game to go. Can you shut off the Direwolves for an entire game? That's what Ground Zero is trying to do as Amphis turns that setup into a dribble, gets past 2 defenders, ball in that upper corner, then eventually will find the clear.
2 minutes left for Ground Zero. You can imagine that they're just trying to hold it off. They may be trying to go for another goal here. Amphis, oh my gosh, it's Amphis again. That was such a nice touch from him, although good pass from Torsos as well, but Misty was up, and Amphis putting that down again for Torsos. Such a good play.
If Torsos doesn't get that goal, Amphis does. Granted, I'm going to give more credit to that goal for Torsos, all right? This isn't just the Amphis show. Torsos set it up. All Amphis had to do was get to that ball first. He does. Misty, for the past couple games, you've been starting to see a little bit of nerves, a little bit of panic, not always in that right position. This time does get the bump. Whereas on the opposite side, it seems like Amphis has risen up. Again, proving why this is such a special young talent in this region. And now, with just over 100 seconds remaining, Ground Zero, with that goal as well, may have just driven that dagger into the Direwolves' heart. It's looking like they're taking this grand final.
Oh no, man. It's going down. Ground zero, 3 up. Ugh. I think that could be the dagger in the heart, like you said, but we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they can come back here. So here comes Misty trying to put it in middle. Gets that bump on Amphis, but Express is going to be already up. Ivor's last back. Pops it up into the sky. Tries to get a touch, gets a flip, but also messes up Misty in the same play.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough situation to recover from. Either way, Torsos will clear that ball in the middle of the pitch. Express there for the follow through, looking to connect on Torsos down below, but Fiber will go up above and seal it away. Has the reset, has the touch, but it's not quite accurate enough. Minute remaining, 3 goals required, and it's starting to feel more and more like Ground Zero will be taking this series and reaffirming the belief held by many that this is the best team in the region.
Absolutely, 50 seconds left. It's just ticking down. They're going to start to be a little bit demoralized here as Zen's last back gets faked out. Ground Zero just having a little bit of fun with it now by the looks of it, because they could have probably scored pretty sick. Jassos tries to get a goal. He manages to do it.
Give him the hat trick. Give him the hat trick in what will be our final game. Look at this angle. I'd say that was 79, 81 degree, something along those lines, 83 kilometers per hour, opposite corner. Very, very strong shot. And one to further emphasize the point that we are looking at the best Oceania has to offer right now with this Ground Zero lineup they will be taking today. Granted, this is the warm-up. As I sort of mentioned at the start of the series, I still foresee these two teams meeting again, possibly in an ESL major final, possibly in an RLO Masters monthly final, until we see something between these, like, the team to really challenge these two as Amphis. Okay, he's going to do it again. 5-0 with 5 seconds remaining. It's so hard to bet against either of these two sides, but when they match up, it's going to be Ground Zero proving themselves the victor.
Oh, absolutely. They deserve it. They played well throughout the whole day. And, you know, it's such a strong team. Direwolves can feel bad about it because Ground Zero is the best team in OCE right now.
That they are, and as the talk did hit zero, all of those beliefs will be confirmed. As, yeah, I mean, Amphis, you can see in the stats, outside of goals in this last game, like he obviously didn't have the most there, but just throughout the series, he's pretty much leading the stats in everything. He has been all over the pitch, just absolutely dominant performance. Torsos always there to back him up as well, and Express did fall back a bit more into that third man role in those later games, but with how devastating that Torsos-Amphis duo was, we didn't really get to see Direwolves do much of anything, even though the shots are mostly equal. Again, the Direwolves, they often like to take a shot on target first and then turn it into a tight infield pass. They didn't have those opportunities to do so. Express did a great job in sort of shutting those down before they happened. The complete package, Ground Zero, and they get themselves back-to-back weekly victories here at the RLO Masters.
Absolutely deserved, as you can see from that scoreboard. All greens across, except for the assists. Well done to Amphis. I'm going to have to give him MVP of that match for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. It would be hard to argue not to give him that MVP. And for the Direwolves, again, they still have that week 1 victory, so it's not as if there are any slouches, as well as I believe we can take a look perhaps at the bracket and sort of how things went through today. You can see the Direwolves did go on their own warpath. They took out, you know, the Invisible Ninjas, a bit of a revenge match, I believe, after the Invisible Ninjas did take the ESL Regional. Following that, though, they were able to beat Solicit, but fell out short to Ground Zero, who had arguably the rougher road. Renegade, Crit Society, Direwolves. You can make the argument that, like, okay, these are the top 4 teams in the region, and Ground Zero went through 3 of them. The only team that they didn't beat was themselves. So, fantastic effort from Ground Zero on this warpath, and this is why I feel like right now they are still that best team, even without the results over the weekend. And until someone can consistently dethrone them, everyone is going to be chasing this Ground Zero lineup.
Absolutely, Ground Zero is the team to beat at the moment, and if you're coming up against Ground Zero, you're going to be worried. You need to be worried. As they are just playing out of their mind, as you can see. Oh, they're only 1 point above in the monthly standings, but Ground Zero is at the top, and there's third Solicit at 310, Cringe Society 290, matched with Process and Finra, but yeah, Ground Zero just pulling through there.
And if you want drama, I think next week is going to deliver because only 8 teams qualify for the monthly final. There are 3 teams tied for 8th right now. Mind Freak, Forbidden Gaming, and the Invisible Ninjas. All 3 of these teams need a strong performance. Now, Forbidden Gaming, obviously, they're exciting. If Vampel comes into the lineup, if Vampel and Hawk on the same team, the ceiling is as high as you want to make it. Invisible Ninjas, they just won a regional at ESL. Like, this team can hit its mark and be one of the best teams. And Mind Freak, I mean, they won the fall major. It's still that same lineup. They're still very, very strong. They just need a week, perhaps, without having to run a sub, unfortunately, as it is. You can make an argument for all 3 of these teams qualifying, but then you go, well, who drops down? Process kind of seems like the odd team out, but they've just had 2 top 8 finishes in a row. So is it safe to say that they might fall short? I don't know. That 40-point lead feels very safe. It's going to be a crazy week next week, and please, please, please make sure you go to that Liquipedia page. You see all of those localized streams because every one of these teams has their own stream. You can watch all 3 at once to really watch and see who it is that's going to be that qualifies in that 8th place spot.
Absolutely, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. And if you want to catch me, I'll probably be with Guru, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, you're following Process and their sort of like surprise run into that top late there, I say it. I mean, I'm with Mind Freak, so a little bit more pressure on our end. But more importantly here, we were with Rocket League Oceania, and all of you in that chat were with us today. So a big heartfelt thank you for once again tuning in. A thank you to all of the streamers out there who were also covering the games throughout those group stages. I know there's a lot of you. I don't have the list in front of me, so I can't go through it all. A big thank you to the teams participating, Dover and High working behind the scenes in this one. I know people were expecting to see Chris today. I got the call, so hopefully Chris will be back at that next possible moment, but that's probably going to wrap us up for today. One more week for the month of January before our finals. It's going to be a crazy one. I believe we're going to have Copt and the Yummy Cheese Man on broadcast here at RLO, so I think they're going to be bringing some pretty big excitement. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you out on the pitch.
Never